Hi everybody. Just before I start the video, because I have recorded this before, I'm just letting you know my microphone didn't save properly, like in OBS settings. So I did not have any mic recording during my last couple of streams. I've already done one for Titan Souls. I'm doing one for this Recettear. I don't know whatever it's called challenge. And then I got one other uh game that I did last time I did some streams. So I'm doing them all together. But if you notice that I look a bit bigger on the side, that's why. I have a character in the background. You can see her right. Hang on. Ah. Uh, my character is in the background over here. It's just I'm trying to hide her. All right. So that's what's going on. But I'm going to go ahead and start this up because I'm just going to talk over things. I did a challenge last week. I actually did two challenge. I did it twice, but I failed the first time. We're going to only do the first. We're only going to do the second one. So basically, I did a challenge in Recettear where I used the first dungeon to make as much money as possible without using the dungeon anymore. We're doing it once. Now, I did skip over the tutorial, so I bought a few items from the tutorial, and then I sold a walnut bread, and I just skipped over it this time. I skipped over the tutorial this time because it is kind of long and kind of annoying, but that's what I did. You get $1,000 to start. I just used it to buy some generic items, and then I sold a walnut bread, which the walnut bread is a guaranteed sell, so I sold it up at the front. I'll explain more later, but we're going to go to the Adventurers Guild, and I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to be skipping most of the events on here, because this isn't just a challenge run, and I'd like to come back to it and play it proper because I'm really skipping out on a lot of events just to do this challenge. So I don't know why I paused here. I think I started coughing or something like that. I did, like, allergies have been a nightmare for me the last few days. Like during the very cold months, when it first starts getting very cold and when it starts getting very warm is when the allergies hit me really bad. So the week that I was streaming, it really hit me hard, and I think it really hit me hard for this game. So I like just had to stop it every so often and just start coughing. So I think it happened in the other game that I'm recording, like either tonight or tomorrow. But either way, we're going to go into the dungeon. This is the only time we're going into the dungeon for this challenge. But we're going to collect all the expensive, valuable items that we can find. So anything that's over 100 gets put in my pocket. If we get some mystery items, which are the items that look like a little mushroom with a question mark on them, I'm probably going to toss them if we don't have anything less than 100. It kind of depends. Like if it's less than, say, 100, if we have items that are like under 200, I might toss them out instead, because sometimes the mystery items are very good, but other times it could be a slime fluid, which slime fluid can potentially be gathered up just regularly. You can actually see the slime fluid just while wandering around. The slimes will just drop it naturally, and you can see it. And it wasn't until I started playing through this that I realized, oh, when you get the mystery thing, sometimes it pops out as slime fluid too. So, in a way, the mystery items are a bit of a gamble because it can be good, but a lot of times it could just be slime fluid or something generic. You really don't know what you're getting with those. It could be good or it could be bad. If you are playing a traditional run, when you see the mystery items and you unlock them for the first time, then the next time you go into the dungeon, you'll be able to identify them properly. I don't know if I'm actually trying to think if you can get mystery items afterwards, but I think once you've cleared out a dungeon of all the mystery items possible, they kind of just disappear entirely. It's only when you go into another dungeon that the mystery items reappear. But you press A to attack. You got B for like a spinny move for Lewis. There are several other people that you can befriend and fight with, but Lewis is the only one that doesn't require payment. You can beat the entire game with Lewis. And this game plays with a loop format, so once you've beaten the main game, or if you even fail, you can do a new game plus. You can do a new game plus, and basically all your items are kept. Whatever money you have is kept, unless you fail. Unless you fail. If you fail, I think you get reset back to like the traditional money, but all your items are stay. And any adventures that you get a card from stay with you. So the person that gives you a card is typically the person that you spend the most time in the dungeons with. So if you spend like the majority of your time with Louis, you get a free card from him, and he'll be automatically unlocked in the next game. But he's always unlocked. Like, he's always the first one that you unlock, so really getting his card is kind of like, oh, you didn't unlock anybody else this run. But like, or you've like already unlocked everybody else that run. So like, you kind of want to use other characters. If you're trying to unlock everybody and do all the loops, you probably don't want to worry about Louis until last. I don't know why I'm pausing. Listen, I don't remember. I don't remember why I paused, but I'm sure there was a reason. It was probably coughing again. I'm going to blame everything on cough. I'm going to blame everything on allergies. If I can't remember, I'm calling it a cough reason. Just but we have 2 bars here. We got 3 bars actually on our character. The green one is your health. The blue bars are SP. The blue bar basically is how many times you can press the B button to use a special. His special is the spinning move. His special is spinny. Basically Zelda's like spin attack. Not Zelda. Link. Oh god, I did the thing. I called it. I'm so sorry. Anyway, man, I really coughed a lot at the beginning. I knew I did it in one of these episodes, but I guess it was this one. Listen, I hate allergies. I take like year-long like allergy meds, but it really messes with me still. But anyway, like certain parts of the seasons really mess with me, and this has been one of them. I'm doing a lot better now. It's just it's usually like a week that's the worst, and then afterwards I'm fine. Like that first like week when it really changes is when it hits the worst. But yeah, green health. If you lose your health, you die. You lose all or at least most of your items. Listen, it's been a while since I've actually gotten knocked out, so it's also been a while since I've actually played this, so I can't really remember. But blue gives you your like magic, and then that red bar around your character, the character icon is your XP, and once it fills up, you get a level, and every time you get a level, you get all your health and SP back. So we're probably going to be about like level 6 or 7 by the end of this, and there's a whole bunch. Every time you see an exclamation like that, you're going to see like a big event. Listen, I get hit a lot, but I don't really care at this point. Louis does have like this little special. I don't know if I actually show it. He does have like this special ability, and like every single character I think has like one unique talent or ability with them, and his is basically shield. If somebody or something throws something at him, unfortunately throwing a punch doesn't matter, but if they throw like a rock or something and he is pointed in the same direction as said rock, then he can, oh my god, he can I'm trying to get in the middle of that circle now that one guy's gone. See, spinny move. But if you're pointed towards the same direction the rock is in, he automatically dodges it. It just doesn't give him any damage because of the shield. But if you are attacking while you're in that direction, it won't work. So you have to be either just walking or not moving at all in order for it to work. So it kind of sucks there. So spinning moves are really good when you get a chest that's full of slimes, and there's a bunch of other events that can happen, and every time they have an event, it's usually when it's a bad event, it gives you the exclamation and like a warning sign that pops up in your head, and sometimes it could trigger just by walking in different spaces, but you could get trap boxes that also do it too. And I think mostly here it's just slimes that spawn, or the rocks that fall. Later on you'll have bombs that just spawn in front of you. Other times it'll be status effects. I think like you getting weaker or the monsters getting stronger. I think those actually might be room effects, because I know sometimes you'll go into a room and suddenly the effects are different, or like things like that. Sometimes somebody will just throw a giant fish. That's one of the effects. Just a giant fish flinging right towards you. I don't understand it. It's very something. I really did not care about like any of the injuries I get here. Listen, it's the first floor. If I died, I was just gonna restart. But like, I'm just letting myself get whacked. Like, I'm a very impatient person. Like I just let myself take the damage for the most part. I've been trying to play other games. I've been trying to play some new games that require me to be a bit more patient. And like, man, I hate being patient. I'm doing better with it, but still. Anyway, we got 30. I think it said 30 inventory space. I get to see 20, and we've just filled it up. So now I'm having to get rid of the cheaper items. You can see at the bottom of their description how much they're worth. So clothes are like the cheapest, or some of the cheapest items, so I'm just getting rid of them first. We'll probably get rid of some slime fluid. Now, those little guys that keep throwing the punches also throw rocks, but apparently they're smarter than me. Because I keep expecting them to throw a rock, and then they don't throw the rock, they throw something else. So, they keep throwing the punches instead. And sometimes when the slimes spawn, they don't actually spawn after you, they don't spawn in the circle. Sometimes they just spawn like just a couple at a time, or 4 or something like that. There's different sections of them. Anyway, I'm rearranging it so I can keep like all the slime fluid together, all the items. Hey, this is one. So yeah, if I got hit with the shield on the side of the shield right there, if I just let it hit at me and I wasn't like trying to actively attack him, the rock wouldn't have done any damage. But I'm literally just running through this. And I'm trying to avoid just like talking about the merchant section of this game, because you can literally beat this game without going to the dungeon at all. And when I first attempted, when I first decided to do this dungeon and this run and challenge, I wasn't sure if you could actually do it, because I had been practicing this for a long time beforehand, and I was struggling. Also, you can get items that have like a +3 or +2 on them. That's more for like fusion and like equipment to add to your adventurer, but we're not going to be worried about that too much, because I don't think it actually adds that much in value. I don't think. I could be wrong, but most of the items that we get here are the only ones that are going to give us like a +1 and +2. Like anything outside of this is not going to give us a +1 or +2. We're really not going to see that much in this gameplay. We don't have to worry about it at all. But I think I'm just going to knock out all the slime fluid now. We will still end up with some slime fluid because of the mystery items, so don't worry. We still have slime. I know you can't see it very well. Let me just pull my character a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but there was a little map behind me, but of course we're at the end of the dungeon, and so you don't see it anymore. But there is like a mini map that tells me what the area looks like. You have to go through the map in order to see more of it, but once you have gone through it, it will tell you, hey, there's been more enemies that spawn here. So if you've seen me like running around in a loop, basically, that's why. So here's the gimmick. We're going to be putting the most expensive items towards the front, but we want to try and keep items stocked, just in general. Keep all the items we possibly can in stock. And because this was probably the issue that I had the most, and I'm just trying to figure out like the best items to put. right now, and I'll explain more about item placement and stuff in a minute. But one of the issues I was having is I would either run out of items to purchase at the store, or people would stop coming, and then I eventually realized it's because I didn't have items stocked. I would either focus on very specific items that costed a lot and only sell them and leave a lot of my shelves empty, which meant a lot of people weren't buying. They were just coming in, and then like one or two would buy, and then everybody else would leave because there was just nothing to buy. Or I would buy a bunch of cheap stuff and people would buy, but it wouldn't be enough. So that's probably the hardest balance for this early bit. It's just trying to find out the right balance of everything. But we're going to be tossing out some really cheap items. I think at a certain point... Yeah, the slime fluid wall. I think as long as you have something down, it's good. But I don't want to be too depending on the slime. I figured I'd do at least one slime wall, like one little section where it's just nothing but slime. But later on we want to try and fill that up. As long as everything has something. But the window is the most important thing when it comes to these items, because we want to get the most expensive items up there, because you could charge more for them. You could charge more for them. So... the way that I was reading online in a guide to really maximize stuff was to try and charge everybody 105% for everything. I'm not going to do that, because I feel like if you charge 100, and I have tested this out so many times, because there was like one guide specifically that I read, and I was like, what do you mean I have to do 105%? And they were specifically talking about trying to build up your like the customer XP. And the best way to do that is by selling things at 105 XP. You will not make enough money to do anything by doing that alone. So what I'm going to do is the items at the front are going to be 120, which is the max that you can get from most people. The little girls will never go up to 120. The little girls will go to like 113, and that doesn't matter where the items are at the shop. Like, it doesn't matter if it's at the front or in the back. They have a limited amount of funds that their mother gives them, and that's all they get. So, I think I'm talking about it here, and I'm trying to explain it, and that's why it's paused. But, like, every other item in the shop is either going to be 116% or lower. So, there is one person that will buy even cheaper than the little girl, but we're not talking about her right now. I'm not going to be selling the majority of these items for 105% because I'm not too worried about customer... I'm not worried about customer level. I'm more worried about making a profit. The only items I'm going to sell at 105% are items that are, at this point, the walnut bread or anything that's under $100. And I will probably forget it a couple of times. And the reason why is because there are two different levels that you have to concern yourself with in this game. The merchant level, which you can see right here. I'm at merchant level 1. And that will go up as you are selling items. The more items that you sell, the more your merchant level goes up. If you can do several sales at once, you earn a combo, which earns you more like merchant experience. So it's best to try and make sure nobody gets disappointed with a sale. Like, even if you end up making a sale, like let's say somebody gets disappointed with the first offer. Somebody gets disappointed with the first offer, and then the second offer does really well. Well, that still breaks your combo. It breaks your combo just as much as it would if they didn't agree to your sale at all. If they just were left. It's still considered as a break. And I've already got level 1. Level 2. The reason why I want the extra levels, these merchant levels, and I think these are the more important than customer levels, by the way. I think these are actually more important. Is because the more levels you got, the more stuff unlocks in your store. The more merchant levels you got, the more it unlocks in your store. And right now, I have very limited access to anything. And once these items are gone, I can't buy anything else. And that broke my challenge runs really quick when I was doing 105%. Because yes, I was selling stuff, but by the time that I unlocked level 4, which is the the first level where you get a merchant stock up. By the time I got to that level, I was running out of items and I couldn't afford anything. I couldn't afford anything. So that's why I'm trying to focus more on actually earning money and combos for the merchant level rather than the customer levels. So let me explain customer levels real quick. So customer levels are based off of a pin bonus. A pin bonus is basically each customer every single day, and it's different every single day, will have an expected price to pay. The expected price is around 105%, but it's not exactly 105%. Some days it is 105%, some days it might be a little higher, some days it might be a little lower, but 105 is like the expected number, right? That's the number people are expected, right? If you get close to that pin number for a person, you earn more XP with them. And the more XP with them you earn, the more they'll eventually get a heart. You'll eventually see a heart above their icon, and they will start paying more. Because I think the amount that the guide said was like at the start you can only pay for like they'll give you somewhere around $1,800 or no $18,000. I think that was how much that they would spend at the beginning, or maybe it was 1,000. No. It was 1,800. That was it. 1,800. So I can't buy like $2,000 stuff because most of them can't afford it right now. But after that second level, it nearly. I mean, it goes up big. I read from this that it was like $60K. $60,000 is the second level. I don't know if that's actually true, but I know it's a big jump. I do know it's a big jump. So having those bigger levels is really important. And if you are selling the bigger items at the beginning for higher, you're not going to get those levels faster. But one thing I did notice while I was doing this playthrough in particular, you don't really need to worry about the character levels so long as you're doing it for like the cheaper items. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Like, as long as you're selling certain items for cheap, so you notice I bought the clothes and I've bought a few smaller items. I'm trying to just go around and collect a bunch of different things, and I'll explain it a little bit more later why I'm doing this. But as long as you're trying to sell something and you're not disagreeing with them and their prices, or you're making them mad because you're selling too high, they tend to get their experiences pretty fast. Like, you might not get it in the first week, but you might not get it by the first time you finish this game, this first payment, but you will eventually get it. Like I think I started getting them before like the first payment just by doing this mixed method. So like I feel like my method's a little bit better. And like it'll be a little bit easier later on as we have more money to like get better items or just get a bigger stock in general, because once I get a bigger stock, I can actually focus more on like keeping stuff. I could get the bigger stuff and then like keep some smaller items in stock to do like the whole 105% thing. And then and as we get levels, we're going to unlock some new unique abilities that allow us to sell items that aren't actually on the store counters or anything like that. We're also going to be able to purchase for people too. I think it's around 3 or 4. It might be 3 when we start doing that. Excuse me just a second. Excuse me just a second. Okay. I had to stop for a minute. I started coughing. Listen, I said my allergies are better, but they're not great. So you might notice that I'm putting like goods from different sections up in the window, and I'm also trying to do the same in the back, but I'm really doing my best to do it at the window, because the more different goods that you have, the better chance you are going to be collecting goods from different people. There are certain people that are going to be attracted to certain goods more than others. So, for example, men are going to be more interested in weapons. Kids are going to be more interested in books. Old men are going to be, are supposed to be, at least they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be more interested in the treasures. The treasures, I find, are some of the most difficult things to actually... They're actually the most difficult things to sell, and I hate the treasures, I'm going to be honest. So, I hate it. I hate it. So, it's annoying. It's super annoying. Anyway, I'm just trying to look up because there is like a little list of things that are like really good to buy. Yeah, here's the list. Here's the list from that little guide, and it was like the recommendation. So like if you're looking for good cheap stuff, the best items are foods, hats, bracelets, weapons, clothes, and armor. And the best expensive items are mufflers if they are fleece quality or higher, weapons, armor, food, boots if they're Eskimo quality or higher, capes and charms. So really the best items that you could get are probably the food, the weapons, and armor at the beginning. And then everything else just kind of is meh besides that. You do have to buy other stuff. You do have to buy other stuff. Because eventually we're going to start getting requests for specific items. And sometimes it's usually something like, hey, I need a sword. Hey, I need something warm. Hey, I need a treasure. Hey, I need a precious metal. Yes, specifically a precious metal. There's a difference between a metal and a precious metal, and I've stopped for some reason. I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been nearly half a week. I don't remember. But either way, but having a diverse set of goods is useful. But because we're not at level 4 yet, I only have a certain amount of goods, but we're getting close to it. I think we actually unlocked the ability to buy stuff, and I think you know what, this might have been why I was talking about it. This might have been why I paused. I bought a bunch of different sorts of goods, and I'm trying to keep at least 1 or 2 of each item in there, so like 1 or 2 shields, 1 or 2 armor, 1 or 2 clothes, 1 or 2 weapons, 1 or 2 bracelets, 1 or 2, etc., etc., etc. So you don't necessarily need a bunch of different weapons, so you're probably not going to get requests for like a specific weapon. I don't think I've ever had somebody request, hey, I need a dagger. I need a dagger. No, not a bow, not a glove, a dagger. Right? I don't think I've ever gotten that. The mufflers I ignore for the most part at the beginning because there's only one person that needs it, and it's Louie. There's only one person that requests the mufflers, and it's Louie. Like they're good to have for Louie's sake. Everybody else, nobody will ask for it. Nobody will ask for it, and it's a horrible thing to sell at this point. So, I'm just trying to figure out what items I'm going to buy. Food is always the best option, like just in general. You can find them cheap, you can find them expensive. Everybody wants food, because everybody likes to eat. Everybody likes to eat. Spears are also really good for sales, because they usually tend to be really expensive. And then armor. Armor's always good. I'm just trying to buy some, like, big name items now. Eventually, there's going to be certain points where I try to boost, like, the amount of items that I have and their quality and value. So, I don't think I'm doing it now, but, like, eventually you'll notice that, like, I slowly increase over time the value of the items on the front, and then slowly increase the items of value in the back. But I think it's more after I get to level 4 that I worry about that. So for now, I'm just focusing on everything that's over 1,000 in the front, and I think in the back, it's like everything under 500, or around 500. I think that was my first goal. So, because eventually I'm going to run out of items that are over 1,000k. So I wanted to keep some bigger items, so between 500 and 1,000 in case I had that room available. So that was my main focus, was just to try and keep that. And I do a lot of penny pinching. You notice me like kind of making sure that I get that extra little dollar or two at the end, especially at the beginning. She will not go over 113 for the most part. There is a once in a blue moon chance of her going up to 116, but if you do that, there's a good chance that she will be like, excuse me. See, I do 105 here, because I want to get that money, and I don't care. It's 105. But I would have cared here because 105 would have been like just an extra $100 here when I could have gotten 200. So like selling smaller items for like 105% doesn't do as much damage to me and my profit compared to like doing it to a bigger item that's like worth 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. You might notice that like some stats popped up on Louis just then, and that's because every time that you make a sale, there's a chance if an adventurer, somebody that you can work with and go to the dungeons together with, gets an item that they can upgrade their equipment to, and they pick it, you can sell it to them and they will equip it. Now, if it's an item that they can't actually use, so for example, a wand or gloves for Louis, or some other type of equipment that he doesn't use, or if it's something lower grade, so for example, if he has like the big advanced legendary sword and then he tries to buy a worn sword, he won't actually try to equip it. It's only items that will like give him a boost. But later on, you'll sometimes find items that give him a boost but also decrease some other stat. So you kind of have to be careful about that. Like I don't think it's as big. It's too big of a deal until like the later levels. So just be aware of that. Sometimes it might be better just to take the items with you in the dungeon. But we're not going to really worry about the dungeons. I'm just letting you know like what's going on for like the status effects. Anyway, we could sell items. I mean, we could purchase items directly from people now. So the recommendation along with that 105% is to buy items for 70%. That's apparently the pinpoint for like purchasing at a happy value or a pin value bonus, is to buy items off people for 70%. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I ever do that, except at like maybe at the very end if somebody sells me like a walnut bread or something really cheap. Like most of those prices are going to be 50% because I'm cheap. I'm cheap as hell. like I don't mind like giving you like a couple of percent off. And see, this broke my combo right here because he got upset. It broke the combo. So the combo broke. Oopsie doopsie. But we have until day 8, I believe, in order to earn 10k, and we're already at 9,000. And we're at level 4, so tomorrow, or whenever we go to the store again, we can't tonight because it's set, if you look at the clock, or the little arrow things, you see the blue and the red and the purple sections, those are your time quarters. There's a morning, there's a day, there's an evening, and a night quarter, right? And every time you do something, either here or in town or an adventure, it takes up a quarter. So, basically, every time you open up the shop, it takes a quarter. Anytime you shop, it takes a quarter. Now, you don't necessarily, like if you go to the marketplace, and then you go to, like, the chapel or some other place, in the same turn, without coming back to the shop, then you only use that quarter, right? That's fine. But like if you go to like the chapel and then go on an adventure, or go to the chapel and then go back to your shop, then you lose a quarter. You could do everything in town at once until you go and switch to an adventure or shop thing. So I just let you know. And you'll notice that I'm ignoring a lot of the sections in here. I'm ignoring the church and the church and the pub and the town square, and it's because most of these are kind of worthless, unless you're actively playing the game. To see like all the social events and stuff. I'm doing a challenge run, so I'm not too worried about the social events. Now that we have gotten level 4, like the first level and sometimes the second level on some of these items, um, I basically have infinite quantities of. I can buy as many as I want. You might notice that I have bought some leather gloves and some swords. Originally, when I first started this game, I was not planning on keeping the leather gloves forever. I do eventually get 10 of these. Because eventually, you do need some gloves or you need some weapon that isn't made of metal. And the gloves ended up being so much more useful than I thought they would be. But the reason why I'm keeping the gloves now is because eventually we're at the point where people are going to start requesting items specifically, and I just wanted to keep some extra like cheaper items, and leather gloves are the same price as the swords. So I'm just trying to keep specific categories. So clothes, robes and clothes count as clothes, breastplates, armor count as armor, bracelets count as armor and bracelets for some reason. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if anybody's asked for a helmet. I can't remember. I don't think anybody's ever asked for an accessory, but I always keep them around. I keep those two around. I don't think people ask for shields either. Like, I always try to, like, keep certain... I try to keep a little bit of every category no matter what, so it's no big deal. I know people ask for hats. The girls especially ask for hats. Helms might actually count as a hat. I don't know. But then you also want to collect some books, some treasures, some mufflers for Louis, and then food. I think those are the key ones. Also sweets. And the sweets aren't necessarily requested, but if you can buy up some candy at the beginning, if you have like extra funds for candy, look at all this walnut bread I'm buying. I'm going to be using that for like the 105% trick. I think I eventually make just like a walnut bread like counter, but yeah, I was pointing at the yams because right now the purchase price is 1,400, but it sells for 2,000. Nobody's at a high enough level to in their character XP that nobody's leveled up, so nobody's going to purchase it. I have to wait until some people have started leveling up before I can like sell that properly. But the fact is, we're starting to get that $2,000 stuff. Anyway, I'm just putting some candy and fruit and other stuff up to lure the goodies in, lure the people in. Books don't really sell well. They're good to have like one extra or something like that. I guess I don't do the walnut bread right now. I do know when people request food, walnut bread is going to be the thing that I toss out the most. Eventually, I do toss out some other foods. I'm just trying to figure out my thing. I have a lot of gloves here. I don't. Oh yeah, I do remember. I do remember what I was talking about. You might notice that I bought a bunch of gloves, but they don't list the gloves that are already in your inventory, like on the counter shelf. Whatever's on your counters don't get listed as inventory in your pocket. So like if you have 5 gloves, for example, on your counter space, and nothing else in your actual pockets, it will pretend that you have nothing in your pockets. It has, like, oh, I don't have any gloves at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have in your counters. You have no gloves. You should probably buy more. So, that is one thing. I think that was what I was talking about why I paused it. But, Louis got upset. Oh, no. Oh, no, he got upset about the price. It happens even at, like, 20%. So, people are starting to get a little bit more, penny pinchy. That's not a big deal. I think what I'm going to try and do is, I think what I might do is just separate this into, like, week-long segments. Or at least every rental segment will split it off into different videos, because I don't know. Maybe not exact, because we're already at the near 40-minute mark. and we're only at like day 5. So like this game gets pretty long. I didn't realize I didn't I didn't realize how long this game was when I started this challenge, and I ended up playing like 7 hours in total. Early streaming 7 hours in total. I had to take a break for a little bit to like eat and stuff because I was just like, oh no, it's so much. I think it was like 7 o'clock that night before I finally took a break. Oh, I did not realize how long this challenge was going to last, but I didn't want to quit. But we're just going to keep going, and I think maybe the week segments would actually be best. So, that way it can kind of stretch and stuff. Because one of the issues I had, because there were 2 games. There were 2 games that I took a break from, like, a couple of times because I didn't realize how long they were going to be, and that I could be able to finish them in a day. Because, like, I also played Klonoa, the original Klonoa, but I did, like, the remastered version of it. Hey, look, Louie gained a heart. Look, day 5 and he gained a heart, and I wasn't even trying to do that 105% thing. Like, I did it a little bit. I don't even know if Louie bought, like, 105% stuff. It's not that, like, I don't know what people are talking about. I don't know what people are talking about. I don't know if that actually even means anything. I don't understand why that guy is even obsessed with this. It doesn't even seem to be that big of a deal. They did mention that there was, like, a difference between certain, like, versions of the game. I don't know if maybe I'm playing a different version of the game. I'm playing the North American version, I guess. I don't know. But like you can still gain hearts even when you're not actively doing the 105% chance. I feel like it does it faster, but I've gained hearts usually second week anyway. So I'm really confused about that. Anyway, back on my tangent. I was playing Klonoa like Monday. I'm reorganizing like everything for this, like all these recordings. So I was recording Klonoa first, and then I did a challenge run of this, and it failed the first time. So I did a little bit of Titan Souls, and then I did Recettear. I think it's Recettear. I think it's French, right? I don't know. I'm assuming it's French. But I did 2 of these, and the first one failed, and I didn't want to record all the audio for a failed attempt, so I'm just focusing on the attempt that succeeded. But both of these videos ended up being about 5 hours. Klonoa and Reset. The Titan Souls was like under an hour. So that one was fine. I don't care. I don't mind fixing that one. That was the first one I made with the brand new audio. That one was my test run, just to see if it worked. But I don't know why I'm paused again. I don't know. Listen, I probably did I pause here? Like, there's certain points where I did pause to like take a break. I just don't remember any of it. I did a lot of recording, and I don't remember half the things I did, and I don't remember half of the pauses. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll make it through this. And next time I will check my microphone before streaming. I know how to do recordings in OBS without streaming now. I finally sat down and learned. I finally gained the attention span to learn after this mistake. I finally gained the attention span. Oh. I actually did try to do recording beforehand, and I was super confused. I just needed to watch a video, but I tried looking up videos before, and I was struggling to find one that really... I think I just typed it in wrong. I think I was just typing up what I was looking for wrong, because I was struggling to find out how to properly do this. And then I finally found a video that worked. But anyway, back to my tangent. I was talking about, like, the Klonoa and this video being, like, 5 to 6 to 7 hours long. But I didn't realize how long it was going to take to do all these, because I figured the Klonoa game, I was going to be taking like 2 days to do all that, and like after the 4 hour mark, I was like, actually, I could beat this today if I just kept going. So I just kept going, and then I played Recettear, and I was like, oh, this will only be like 3 or 4 hours probably, and then it ended up taking longer. And I think I'm just gonna have to start making like bigger breaks, like every 2 hours or so, because I did not realize how bad my brain gets fried after like the 2 or 3 hour mark. It just hurts my brain so damn much. I hate having to pause, but my brain gets fried so bad. My brain gets fried so bad. I don't even think it's really necessarily the game. I think it's just the fact that I'm talking and stuff. So like I'm talking nonstop, and I'm trying to come up with stuff, and I just need like a little refresher, a little relaxation and stuff. I had to pause and call my mother during this playthrough, by the way, because I usually call her around 4 or 5, but because I had to finish this damn challenge, I had to pause, and I had to be like, you know what, my mom's gonna freak out because I haven't called her, and it's nearly 6 o'clock. I need to call her. I need to call her, because she has anxiety. She has severe anxiety, and if I don't call her every single day, she kind of freaks out. She's just like, no messages, no nothing, because I can also text her, but she's just like, what do you mean you didn't text me? Are you okay? Is everything wrong? Listen, she can be a little bit controlling, but she has a lot of health problems, so she gets really scared if I'm not around, or if I haven't contacted her, because like she doesn't have much else. Hey, look, somebody else got a heart. But like she has a lot of issues, and so like I'm kind of one of the few lifelines she's got left. So she's really scared that if something happens to me, she doesn't know what else she'll do and stuff like that. It's kind of why I'm gone like every other week. It's because I'm helping her. I'm helping her and my grandmother, who's like struggling with some like cognitive issues now. So like her brain's a little bit more scrambled now that she's getting older. So it's just a whole bunch of issues at home. Like they don't usually need me all the time, but they do need my help with like cleaning and stuff like that. So I go every other week and stuff to help out. There's a few other reasons why I go every other week. I might just make a video of this. Now that I know how to do recording, I'm gonna try and learn more about like video editing and stuff like that. Like if I can get my ADHD like brain. Listen, I don't have diagnosed ADHD. I have been trying to get diagnosed, but nobody will actually take my damn call. But I'm at the point where I'm just like, yeah, something's wrong with my brain. Because it's like especially when I get talking and I get like overstimulated, it feels like there's like 20 different things going off in my head at one time, and I need to get it all out at once. And so I like, even now, like I'm talking directly to you, and I can feel my brain just like going off like 20 miles a minute. It's really aggravating. But I feel like you know what? I might do the like hour long and then a break. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out all the stream. Like I figure out a little bit here and there, and then I realize, oh, I could do this instead. I could do that. But I have been, weirdly enough, missing YouTube. I used to do YouTube, and part of the reason I quit YouTube was because I got tired of all the editing. But now that I'm streaming, I'm just like, you know what? I kind of miss some of the stuff with YouTube. I miss not necessarily the editing part. The editing part sucks. Editing videos all the time sucks. But I miss just being able to post a video anytime without worrying about like an audience or anything like that. Like, listen, I don't have an audience right now. I'm basically just like chatting for nothing. and I don't mind that right now. I don't mind that right now. Because I feel like this is a good way for me to just learn and practice and get better at things. And I keep forgetting to push my... Listen, I keep forgetting to change my expressions around. So, like, that tells you something right there. That tells you... that tells you I still need a lot... I have a lot of practice to learn. But like I appreciate having, like, the freedom to practice and stuff. And so, but I do, like, enjoy the fact that I could just turn on the camera or like turn on the recordings and just make a video without worrying about anything. I could just do it anytime, regardless of what time it is, and not have to stick to a specific schedule to make the video. And I could do it more than just like every other week. Like, that feels nice. It feels really nice, honestly. So, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to make. Like part of me wants to just do like games that are like shorter. That way, because I do want to do like bigger streams. Like I've made lists on here of games that I want to play, and I keep doing smaller streams, and it was fun. It was fun. I think it was good practice, but it's been over a month. It's been over a month of me doing this, and I'm like, I think I'm ready to just like play games that like fit my vibe more, I guess. And I think another thing is that I've been just trying to figure out my vibe in general. Anyway, we can get carpets and wallpapers and flooring. You know what? I just realized I bought a whole bunch of flooring and stuff to show off at the very end of the game, and I don't think I showed off half of them. like we'll get to that point. But I did say I wanted to decorate. I did eventually decorate a little bit, but then I was going to buy more to show it off later, and then I forgot to show it off. Oopsie. Oopsie. But either way, tomorrow is the last day, so I'm just buying, I think today is like my gung-ho day, where I'm just buying a little bit of everything. I don't even know if the shoes were really a good purchase. I will not be buying anything beyond like the unthankful treasures, because I don't see a point in it. And if you notice, I've been buying a lot of candy. I honestly think I bought too much candy, but that's okay, because we'll take care of that candy in like the first week, like the first couple of days. I think if you have around 10 candies by day 8, you're going to be fine. And I am saying day 8. I think it's like a specific merchant level that you're supposed to get. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure how much of this is based off of a specific day and how much of it's based off of a specific like merchant level. But if you notice now, we're moving some of the items in the back. We have made the transition. We'll still be using smaller items, but we are now putting items down that are above 500. Because most of the other items now, the cheaper items, the cheapest items, are going to be used for stock. They're going to be used for back stock, because people are going to be requesting specific items now. They have been requesting already, I think, and I've just been rambling. But they will be specifically asking for certain items like clothes, or something warm, or food, or weapons. And I'm going to keep about 10 of the items that are cheap, that are useful. Because sometimes they're not going to want them that day. They're not going to want them the same day that they get them. And those days, I want to make sure that the supplies are full. Now, when we get those requests, they usually ask for 2 or more items of the same type. So, oh yeah, this girl has like a 1% tax. I forgot about that. Yeah, same with the girl being too cheap to buy anything over 113%. She's too proud to buy anything below 51%. Sometimes she goes for 52. She's a brat. She's a brat. Or she's being controlled by her mom to sell something, to purchase things at a higher price or a lower price or whatever. Either way, it's not good. Anyway. We're just gonna keep, you notice that I'm still using like the higher prices for everything right now. Again, walnut bread, 105, no problem. Everything else right now is still kind of depends. I might be willing to go down a little cheaper every so often. It kind of depends. Later on, I do like everything under 500, I think. But at this point, we're just kind of focusing on making money rather than making friends and kissing butt. That's basically it. We're trying not to kiss butt. Um, Food is really good for attracting the women, not the little girls necessarily. The little girls have several other items, but like the women specifically, I have so much issue like attracting without some sort of food item around here. Like later on, you'll be restricted on what kind of items that you can sell, and if you're having some days where you can't sell food, the women just basically disappear, and it's such a stressful situation. Oh yeah, I think I just bought that, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, nope, I sold it. Listen, you're gonna see me sometimes accidentally purchase something, and I know it happens a few times. Like I know of at least one point where I spend an insane amount of money on an item later on because I thought I was selling it and I accidentally bought it instead. So yeah, sometimes Grandpa also gets mad at the price. The grandpa, there's no grandma in here. I think Grandma died. Anyway, listen. I don't know if it's a thing or not. Maybe you can explain this to me. What's the deal with like cozy games or like casual games and then like grandmas? Listen. Maybe it's because I play too much Harvest Moon and like farm sims, but like the grandma never has a good chance. Nothing good ever happens to grandma. Like I played Harvest Moon 64. That was like my first farm sim game, right? That was my first farm sim. The grandma, if you talk to grandma during summer year 2 or any other or was it spring? I don't know. Either way, one season she's just there and she looks miserable. But if you talk to her when she is looking miserable, she just croaks. Nina from like A Wonderful Life, she'll croak year 2. There's a woman in Story of Seasons who offers you half of her farm and like helps you thrive and is like your supportive grandmother character. She dies at the end of that year. Why do they keep killing off the grandmas? Like your grandpa also dies. like in a lot of those older games, the reason why you even get the farm is because grandpa dies. What is with the seniors? Why do they keep killing off the seniors? What's wrong? Why do you have against seniors? Why? Listen, why do we keep killing them off? What did they do to deserve to die? Listen, I know it's a natural thing and everything. It's just kind of weird that it keeps happening, and this is the thing that keeps like bringing us back, and we keep having to keep seeing Grandma die. Why does Grandma keep on dying? Every time there's a game that comes out, like Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons or whatever, and I see a little old lady, I immediately get flashbacks. I immediately get flashbacks. I'm just like, oh no, not again. Just like, not again. Oh Lord, I can't handle it, man. I can't handle it. That, like I thought farm sims were supposed to be like casual and fun and relaxing, and no, we got grandmas dying everywhere. But we got one more day of this, I think, and then we'll be paying off our first fee. I think we're gonna be fine. I think there is like a couple of days where I get a little bit overexcited and buy too much. But the fact that I'm even recording this means that we've succeeded. Like, we're fine. Now, I don't even remember if I know there was like one day or two where I didn't even bother like selling anything. Or like going to market. I was just like, you know what? I guess it wasn't today. Okay. Now, I know a couple of people have gained hearts, but I don't think I start buying the bigger name prices until next week. Until we start the next section, because I wanted to make sure that we had people that would purchase it. So that's why I'm still buying like the cheaper items, is to make sure. Although people are buying the beef bowl, and I did buy like a couple of beef bowls earlier. I don't think I really talked about it, but the beef bowls are kind of like a that and the yams, I bought them just as a kind of like, hey, oh, maybe this was the first time I bought it, I don't know. But I buy them as a sort of like testing point. I buy them as a testing point to be just kind of like, hey, are we... What the hell am I doing here? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, the thankful statue. Okay, yeah, I remember now. But they're a testing point to see if people are able to buy them or willing to buy them. So I always put one down just to see when I feel like it's about time. And if I see people buying them, then I'm like, okay, I can get one or two more. So we'll see. We'll see if that works. Once again, we're selling everything that's 100 or less for 105% because it's not that big of an issue. And there's no women here. Oh, so you'll sell me this, but yeah. I'm gonna get mad a lot at this 100. I'm gonna forget the 51% tax. The 1% bonus. She's part of the 1% that needs the like little special thing because she's like a 5-year-old child. How old is Recette? How old is Recette? Yeah, that's her name, by the way. Her name is Recette. The fairy's named Tear. Combined together, the shop's called Recettear. But how old is Recette? I'm assuming she's around 12 or 13. I'm assuming the little girl is younger than her. But like, where are her parents? like I know, like if you play the game, you know her father abandoned her. But where's her mother? Where's her mother? Like, I'm assuming she's an orphan. But like, it also implies that like she's been living alone for a while. So like, why hasn't child services gotten a hold of her? Where are the adult figures in her life? Why has nobody helped her until now? I'm so confused about everything regarding this child. Listen, nobody likes CPS. But sometimes CPS is required. Like, has everybody around here known that there was a child just living alone in an abandoned item shop, taking care of herself, and just been like, yeah, cool. Alright, take care of yourself. You don't need my help. You're a grown woman. I'm so confused by it. I'm so confused. And instead of offering like any sort of help, they're just like, you know what? We're gonna force you to pay off all your father's debt. Yeah, because I'm 13 years old and I should be able to. It's my job to take care of my father's debts. The father that doesn't even like come visit me or anything. Her father's an adventurer, and he's disappeared. So, like there's implications there. There's implications there. I won't say what those implications are, but those implications are there. So we got one more, and there is a chance, and I should talk about it because there is like a lot of this is kind of RNG, and I do talk about the RNG in this, but there is a lot of RNG over specific things like what items they're going to sell to you, and whether they're going to ask to buy an item directly from you, whether they're going to buy an item directly from the store, if they're going to ask you to deliver something later. But sometimes they sell you an item, they want you to buy an item from them, and it is very expensive. Sometimes it's very expensive. I'm talking 20K. I'm talking $20,000. It's a stupid fucking vase. I'm just like, it's a stupid fucking vase. I hate that vase so much. Listen, I used the scary emote. No, I actually need the angry one for this one. It's 20K for a damn vase. And listen, it's not the only one, but I kept seeing it in this damn playthrough. People wanting to sell me a vase for $20,000, and it's a treasure, and nobody buys the damn treasure. There's several events that tell me, hey, treasures are on sale and big and going to make you a lot of money. Nobody buys the damn thing. Nobody buys the damn thing. And I know they're not going to buy the damn thing, so I refuse to even buy the damn vase. Listen, it infuriates me. That vase, I hate that vase so damn much. I hate like the treasures in general. It's why you see that Thankful treasure that's still over there, that Thankful statue. It's never going to be sold. Not in a million years. And listen, I try. I try later on. But we're gonna go ahead and pay off that debt. We're gonna pay off that debt. and that'll be the first step. But I'm not going to read off any of this, and I'm not going to, again, I'm not going to show off the cutscenes, but I am going to say that the first time or two, we're going to see a couple of new events. So, for example, this Amazon box has a little girl hiding underneath it, and it basically only unlocks two new shoppers. One is this girl who's very stupid, and her fairy. But that's it. That's it for this run. And I'm going to pause it right here. That way I don't forget. And I will see you in the next video. But if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitch, where I will hopefully not forget. hopefully not forget to check my audio the next time I record. But I will see you then. I'll be recording here again in the next few minutes. I'm just going to take a break. But I will see you in a bit soon. So I'll see you later. Bye bye. Bye bye.